Hello and welcome to our Azure user group for May 2021, our special learning edition. Nick, what have you got? What have you got for us today?
Yeah. Hey, Stu. Hi, everyone. Thanks for.
I think we might have frozen.
Yeah. Oh no, we've lost him.
We've lost.
Am I back now?
Lost Doco. Are you there? We've lost you. The show must go on. All right.
Everyone always loses the documentation. So today's topics, we're going to talk about the Cloud Skills Challenge that we're running as part of the user group. We're going to go through some build news with Stu, and then we've got a lightning round of Bicep with Lachlan, who's with us here today. So I would, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. I would like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal people, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today, and pay respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I extend this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in attendance today.
Cool. Welcome, everyone.
So, yeah, we have Lachlan here with us today. Lachlan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so Lachlan, L&D. I am a local cloud solution architect based here in Canberra. My big focus is on apps and infrastructure as code automation. Nick, kind of across to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks very much. I'm Nick. You've probably seen me here before. I'm a Microsoft Cloud Solution Architect in the apps and infra space. And Stu?
Yes, I'm Stu Egerton. I am a Cloud Solution Architect. My background is apps. I fall in apps and infra with very much capital A.
Nice. Cool. So I guess the general sort of meetup news that we have is we're still looking for other contributors as well. So if you'd like to come and be part of this this moving feast of a production, you're very welcome. Reach out to us on LinkedIn or raise an issue in our GitHub documentation, in our GitHub repo. And if you have any ideas of things you'd like to present, or you'd like to come on the show and present something yourself, maybe you've got a cool demo.
Oh, we've lost Doco again. What's going on? I'm going to continue for him. If you've got a cool demo you want to come on, just let us know. Or if there's anything you want us to tell you as a story, we're happy to go and do some research for you and help you get that knowledge. Nick, are you back? You went all again, kind of. You dropped out again. Yeah.
Did I at least freeze with a good face? Like, did I at least did I have a good, a frozen Zoom face or a Teams face or something where you go, okay, hopefully I'm back now. Right. So
you're back.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about the Cloud Skills Challenge. We've had 40 signups, maybe 39 real ones. But thanks to everyone who signed up for it. It's a bit of an experiment for us. We're really excited about doing it as a thing that we can all sort of contribute and use it as an opportunity to learn and get a bit of kudos along the way. So we do have 10 days to go in the challenge. So make sure you are, you keep learning stuff. I am about number 15. So, not super great compared to some of the other people there. If we have a quick look at the, here at the list. I do want to make a special call out and a mention to RVS. We really hope you get a job at Microsoft because you're clearly a very clever person who has read everything that there is in terms of docs. But unfortunately, Microsoft employees aren't able to win any prizes. So you will win the kudos of having the most ridiculous score, but unfortunately, you have disqualified yourself from being able to claim any prizes there. But I mean, an amazing score. So everyone else who's still in the challenge, don't get disheartened by the fact that someone has got 2.8 million XP. Just keep on learning, I guess, as the saying goes. So we have got we've got an opportunity for winners to come on the show, to come and claim their prizes, I guess. So you will have to reach out to us because due to PII, we don't get your login details or your information or anything like that. So please come on.
And he's gone again. So I'll continue his sentence again. So like if you are one of the leaders in, or you just want to come on the show and explain your experience of learning with the learning platform, then you're welcome to do so. Nick, what were you going to say about the top ones there? I think you were going to make a specific mention of the top ones.
Number one. Yeah,
the people at the top of the list. We're going to bring them on.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Have a chat about how they went, what they learned. Could it be better?
Thank you. Learning. Yeah, we will get them to come on the show and talk about what they've learned, how their course went, and what their favorite approaches to learning were. So awesome. I might pass over to you, Stu, now, and hopefully I will have no more dropouts.
Cool. Thank you. I will just share my screen here into the chat because I haven't done that yet. I'm not very organized today. So Microsoft Build is the Global Developer Conference. Now you should be able to see my screen very soon. Right. Microsoft Build is the Global Developer Conference for Microsoft. You used to have to go over to States, so get on a plane, spend thousands of dollars. There were some great parties. Now you can come along digitally online. It's still really cool. You're getting access to the same Microsoft engineers and amazing people who build the products. So it's still a really great thing to get into. The price is great. You can sign up. You can get started in minutes, and basically you can build your schedule. So in Australia, it's going to run from 27th, 28th. It'll run across that time zone. This is the session scheduler that you get when you sign up. There's a gazillion things to choose from here. If I just clear this out, I can't remember how many sessions there are. There's 299 different sessions here, which is a lot over a couple of days. Every single one you can add to your schedule, and then it's on the right here. Or you can save to your backpack. So that is just keep it there so you can go back to it later. Some of the sessions are recorded. You'll have access to them later. Some are not. So if there's something you really want to see, the Imagine World Cup Championship with Donovan Brown, who's one of my favorite presenters. If there's something you want to see from Donovan Brown, you can go in, dig through all the sessions that he has. The developer velocity, which is definitely a pain point for me when I was a developer. How can we make him as productive as possible? So there's a whole lot of things there. Now, this is a pretty intimidating Michael Waite, who is one of our cool people up in Sydney who works for Microsoft. Sorry, Nick?
Simon Waite.
Oh. Did I say Michael? Oh. Simon Waite, who is one of our cool people who work up in Sydney. Thank you, Simon. I know you very well. I do, actually. Has put together this list of sessions for Aussie developers. And don't worry if you're not a developer, because there's still stuff in here for you. You might see some people you know here. Dad's Taxi. Hey, Nick. There's a whole load of sessions here. Mark Rasinovich, who invented sysinternals, is talking about things. Like there's a lot in here that I think is really cool. I might ask some of our panel here. Lockie, did you have a pick from this that you thought was cool?
Look, there's one that I had as a pick, which is the Graph API session. I love the ability to kind of go in and pull user data in through the Graph API. I just want to know more about the toolkit and what that's doing there. There's one right above it, which is the building bots with .NET. Those are the two that I'm going to be making sure I get to, even though they're a later session.
Yeah, and the keynote here as well is definitely one I'll be going to. Nick, did you have any picks from this as well yourself?
Yeah, I think the keynote. I'm always a Rasinovich fan, so hi, Mark. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching that one. I'll probably be checking out stuff on Bicep as well. I think there's a Q&A panel with the inventors of Bicep there, which is cool. And there's the session there about building inclusive communities, because we definitely want our community to be inclusive. So if I can get some more tips on how to help build that, that'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really good one. This should be really interesting, talking to the actual product group who built Bicep, which is what Lockie is about to talk to. So just one quick thing. This is how you register for Build, register.build.microsoft.com, and we will share that link with you. Nick, back to you.
Cool. Well, we're actually we're now ready to go to Lachlan. So Lachlan, would you like to give us a bit of a... I'll lead you in though. So welcome, we have Lachlan here giving us a lightning round of Azure Bicep, the language. So for those of you who don't know, Azure Bicep is our new way of, as a human, communicating with the computers that run Azure.
Spot on.
And over to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So Project Bicep, for those that have used ARM templates in the past, and I love the capability that you can get with ARM templates and the amount of power that you have to build components out in our Azure stack via the resource manager through the templates there. You'll know that it's notoriously difficult to get into. It's something that really takes a lot of time to get used to how you're building it out. Bicep is designed to solve that. So it's a DSL, domain-specific language, which goes over the top of our Azure Resource Manager space in a declarative fashion. What that means is that you can build out ARM templates in a significantly more human-readable and simplified format, but still get the full compatibility with our Azure Resource Manager APIs. So there's no lag, there's no changing of things behind the scenes, waiting for things to be updated to get access to new features. The biggest reason that I'm excited about it is that it's now hit 0.3, which is declared as a production-ready system. This means that I have customers out today using this in their production workloads as means of documenting their environments, building out their systems, building out their entire subscription sets. So everything that you need to get ready is now available. So what we are doing with Bicep that's a bit different is we develop .bicep files, which when compiled, either on the fly or by using a compiler, they produce a valid ARM template at the end. So you don't need to be learning how the JSON functions and the kind of complexities around how that works. We can use a much simpler language to go through it. It's the fiddly functions, the way that JSON works. We can have a middleman do that work for us. So let's go for the simplest possible example. This is what a storage account looks like when we put this out into a standard ARM template file. This is as simple as we can get. We have a storage account with a name, a location, and a type. Nice and simple, 20 lines. Within a Bicep, we can do the same thing within 8. And this is for the smallest, simplest component. We were having a chat earlier today with one of my colleagues, and we were looking at something that under Bicep was about 30 to 40 lines to complete. When expanded out into ARM was nearly 170. And this was just a simple creation of a couple of resource groups and a few resources. So it's a significantly easier, much more compact way to write. And it's something that just feels a lot more human accessible. So let's dive a little bit more into that storage account. So the thing that I keep saying is that you don't lose functionality. So this is that same Bicep file. You can see here that I've changed the name a little bit. I've got a date today saying that I'm going to deploy a storage account out, but we can still access the same sort of functionality via the Azure CLI. So if I go here and I hit this, I'm just going to hit set on my, this, beautiful. So what you can see, now unfortunately it hasn't gone through. Try that again. There we are. Beautiful. So what I've done here is through the Azure CLI, I'm using the AZ deployment group create. So previously I mentioned Bicep needed to be compiled. Through our Azure CLI, you can actually deploy Bicep files without any compilation. So you can write there, it'll automatically on the fly convert it into an ARM template for deployment and deploy it out. This is a pretty straightforward standard storage account, but let's say that we wanted to start parameterizing some of these components. Let me chuck up the comparison here. Ooh, those high contrast colors are really going for it today. So we can see here that we still have access to the ability to use parameters. So I can pull in different strings, concatenate them together. I can do big complex concatenations. I can use variables. I can use all the same functionality that we get with ARM templates today. I don't lose any of that with Bicep. It's just absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend checking it out. You can convert ARM templates from Bicep too, because it acts as a DSL as well in both directions. So have a crack at it. Take a look. It's fairly fresh, but highly recommend. These links here I'll be dropping in the chat. These are the 5 key things that you need to be able to get up and running with Bicep today. There's the GitHub repo, which explains the project, what we're trying to achieve with it. The documentation, which goes through, all the different bits of technical documentation that you would need. And these two videos here, the Ignite 2021 session and this fantastic video from John Saville, go through everything that you need to know to get up and running and explain in really great detail some key examples that to get you familiar with the language. Last one is this visual code extension. For those who, I highly recommend anyone who's using VS Code, please get this extension. It does linting, it does autofilling for you. It's everything that you want in an automated assistant for it. So that's the lightning round of where Bicep is today. Feel free to reach out if there's any questions on it, but hopefully that is looking useful for our developers out there.
Thanks, Lachlan. That's really great. I'm really excited to probably do a longer session with this with you on the show, and share some of the learnings that I've had using Bicep as well. So, as someone who doesn't come from a code native background, using Bicep has for me filled in a lot of the gaps that I guess native ARM templates were probably a little bit intimidating about. So yeah, absolutely keen to do some more of that sort of stuff. And yeah, we'll absolutely echo that John Saville video is a fantastic way to get a really good quick overview as well. So thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Lockie. Yeah, I think Project Bicep's pretty amazing. It's just simpler to get started with things. Like every time I get started with ARM templates, it's like relearning a language. Even though I've got a developer background, but with Bicep, I find it much more natural. And there's the Bicep playground. I'm not sure whether you've got a link to that there, but from that aka.ms/bicep, I think there's a link to the Bicep playground. That is absolutely amazing. You can see all of the ARM templates that are in our sample. You can see the Bicep version of them next to them. So that's super cool because it allowed me to kind of say, oh, it's shorter, but it's also does these things. The dependencies are easier to see and harder to get wrong. And so I think it's a great opportunity to use it to improve your deployment to Azure. Definitely.
Yeah, no, beautiful.
Just one closing thought that I had about Bicep was that to me it feels like the DNS of ARM, right? So we don't use IP addresses to communicate because that's what machines use. Whereas now with Bicep, we can use Bicep to communicate to ARM as opposed to having to speak native ARM. It just feels a lot more human oriented. So.
Yeah, no, perfect description of it.
Yeah,
cool.
I like that.
All right.
And I was just going to say, actually, one thing about it is if you want to deploy Bicep templates, you need the latest version of, say, Azure CLI or PowerShell, the PowerShell module, or use Cloud Shell because it works straight out the box for Cloud Shell because that's always up to date. So that's really important, I think, to when you're getting started. You can just start with that. And also export to the intermediate template as well, so you can create ARM templates out of the Bicep, which I thought was super cool. Nick,
actually, one last one. I will. One last final thing is that there's actually now 3 Learn courses on Bicep, of which I'm halfway through the first one, so going to get me some more XP for that. But yeah, definitely check them out on Learn. Big thanks to I think the Fast Track team and others who are developing those at the moment. So yeah, thanks very much everyone for coming. I know this is a bit shorter than we normally do, but it's the end of financial year and everyone's really busy. So we're going to have a longer session next time. We'll be running through the Cloud Skills Challenge winners and reaching out to people as well. And yeah, absolutely keep engaging with us. Let us know what you want to see on the show because this is your show as well. Come on and be part of it. So thanks very much.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Lockie, for coming on. We'll see you next